What is up, everybody? We are back for another Hail Mary happy hour, and this week with special guest Matt Simmons, manager of the Bongside Kicks. Hi, Matt. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So, another fun, super fun week of football for some people, and for some people, maybe like your
Where's
team
my
is slowly falling
introduction?
apart. You're here all the time, dude. Like, get over it. You know what? More importantly, introduction. This week's episode is sponsored by LL Bean for all of your hiking needs and also some other needs, maybe beans. Head to LL Bean. Got this nice sign, super indirectly from there. And yeah, another fun week.
Yeah.
How have your weeks been outside of this?
You know, it's been a week. It's been a week. Did pretty decent in fantasy this week. Did pretty decent with the bets, which we'll obviously talk about later. Feeling great, you know? Matt, how about you?
Honestly, not bad. I making big steps in like being an adulthood, so doing
Yeah,
good. Trying to move
congratulations on the
on.
house,
Nice.
sir. We talked about it last week,
Thank
but
you.
we'll bring it up again. Congrats on the house, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're
And
settling down buying a house. Tyler, is this the second
Mhm.
time we're seeing this background?
yes, I am still in New York City.
So
Okay.
basically, Tyler is also settled down finally for a whole 2 weeks. Basically
Yes.
equal to Simmons.
100%.
Go.
Uh,
100%.
yeah.
I
So
also think
it's
before we
awesome.
really get into the football here, we need to take a minute to address the wonderful outfit that Matt brought for us today. Matt, would you mind showing off the jersey a little bit for everybody? Yes, thank you, sir. We got the Bobby Boucher Waterboy
Yeah.
jersey. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, man. That's just crisp.
It,
And
it
obviously
is
the Viking helmet.
a beautiful thing. It's funny because currently you're actually wearing the garb of two different undefeated teams, being the Vikings and the SCLSU Mud Dogs.
Interesting.
So we
um,
and you yourself are, you're not that.
Matt, what's your
I am
record?
not, but I'm
Say it.
hoping
Say it out
not.
loud for everybody here.
I mean, it's not official yet, but I mean, pretty damn official. I'm 0-4. I'm the lone ranger out there by myself,
Yes, sir.
but I feel like a good comeback's coming. And
Definitely.
at this point, it's not even about the playoffs for me. It's just about being last place.
And you'll come back from that. I believe in you there. Maybe you'll even, hey, the run isn't impossible. And, we had Steve earlier this season. We thought he was going to just kind of flounder, and now he's making a comeback. Anything is possible.
Is he? He's going to be one
Exactly.
in three.
He won a game. He's made a one game
One's better
comeback.
than none, honestly. One's
He's
better than
he's
none.
getting there.
Okay, to be
But
fair, Steve's not officially one in three yet, and I could still very much lose this game. So we'll revisit this later.
maybe. Yeah, we just had the Jameson Williams touchdown, which I don't think affect any games, but
Mm,
we'll monitor the situation as it unfolds.
yes.
So, yes, we have our first live guest on the show, Matt Simmons, our lovely last fully defeated team in the league. But it
Yeah,
doesn't matter because he bought a house, and that's cooler than anything any of us are doing at the moment.
Taking wins off the field, you know?
Yeah.
exactly.
What do you have to say for the people at home that don't have a home?
Um,
Like
Like
the
a house,
homeless.
bitch.
like a house. It's us. I don't know, man.
Matt, what's your
um,
message to the homeless?
uh,
It's only Tyler, really.
don't stop believing. Honestly, it's
I would
just like my
deliver the
team's
same words
motto.
to you, sir. I would give the same words right back to you.
Exactly.
Oh,
All right.
nice.
Josh, you want to kick off our news and notes for the week?
Yeah. You know what? Super fun week. Super cool news and notes. Really awesome when a star wide receiver gets his knee blown out by his own quarterback. To those of you that didn't watch this week. Rushy Rice pretty much definitely has a torn ACL and will likely be out for the season. And it happened on a beautiful play where Patrick Mahomes threw a pretty ugly interception. Rushy Rice, like a true star, chases this guy down and causes a fumble, like strips the ball from the guy's hand, and the Chiefs get the ball back. Like crazy save. But don't worry, Patrick Mahomes was there to back him up and attempt to tackle the guy, but instead took out the knees of Rushy Rice and hyperextended them and took out his number one receiver. So, best receiver in the league, Patrick Mahomes. Best quarterback in the league, Patrick Mahomes. Give him a hand, guys. Yeah.
My QB right there. That's my boy.
Yeah, yeah, and crazy enough, Simmons is 0-4 with him at the starting spot.
This
Yeah,
feels like
ironic,
collusion.
huh?
This feels like Matt took a direct shot at the number one team in the league.
I think Kelsey got mad at Mahomes and was like, "Hey, man, my girlfriend's watching, so we're gonna have to take that, take that guy out." But
You're giving some more touches, you know.
yeah, but man, rough times. But on a bright note, one of my new favorite quarterbacks in the league since last year, Joe Flacco, is on the rise. I know Tyler is also very excited about this.
Yeah, I always hated Joe Flacco when he was on the Ravens, but all of a sudden I just can't help but like him, man. I just love it. He just pops up randomly and is somehow better than he's ever been in his career.
Yeah, I remember a long time ago when he was the highest paid quarterback in the league. We shat on that plenty. But man, he should be starting right now compared to a lot of these quarterbacks.
I completely agree with that. We were discussing a couple of possible destinations for him earlier. You had Miami in mind.
I think it is perfect. I think Matt would very much agree since he's got Waddle sitting on his team that it would be real nice to get Flacco in there.
Yeah, I agree. I was just saying the other day, I don't even know who the QB for Miami is. I meant to look it up, but like,
It is, I
It's-
checked today, Tyler
Skyler.
Snoop Huntley.
It's
It's not
who?
Skyler.
It's
Tyler
not Skyler.
Snoop Huntley, who was traded from the Ravens.
awesome.
Oh, wait, Tyler Huntley.
Yep.
Tyler Huntley.
His nickname is
that
Snoop.
name sounds vaguely familiar, but you know
I
who they should
believe
have got? Trace McSorley.
Sure. I would have preferred. I think a Jameis Winston could do it. Joe Flacco could do it. There's some good options out there in the league that they chose that they got Tyler Huntley. So, yo, this is actually a note that's relevant to the league. I just saw Victor pop up on Steam playing Wizard 101.
Yo,
just-
Victor, you're playing Wizard 101
Good
without
for
me?
him.
What the hell? I'm about to
Wait.
log on right now.
All right. Yo, this is this week's. We're doing it early. This is this week's. Throw it in the comments. What school were you in Wizard 101? I want to know. Also, I didn't read the comments. Did people name an alligator? We had little bit of a mess up on those uploads, so I don't know how that went.
To be completely honest, I have no idea. You continue. I'll pull that up and get back to you.
Continue.
On that.
Going on. Aside from that, a couple more news and notes. The Bills got fucking destroyed by the Ravens, so suck it, Jordan. Sucks to suck. It ain't the Bills' year, it turns out. Leaving two undefeated teams, well, three undefeated teams, if the Seahawks manage to pull it out tonight, being the Vikings and the Chiefs, similar to the two undefeated teams in our league, which is me and Jordan, who will be facing off in the upcoming week. So similar to this past week where we had the two most defeated teams going head to head, seeing who was the worst. We're going to have the official head to head to choose who will stay undefeated in the league, which will be a fun matchup. We're currently projected 50-50 down the middle, but I also still have Rushy Rice in, so.
Whoa. Okay, that's crazy, actually. Matt, who do you
Yeah.
think's going to win that one? Our two undefeated teams.
Honestly, I gotta give it up to Josh. I mean, was a tough matchup when I faced him the first week, and I feel like he's just been on the rise since.
Yeah, you've
I really
seen
gotta kind
the
of give it to him.
powerhouse that he is firsthand.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane.
Yeah, I don't know how I got away with this. It's a full like Jesse Pinkman meme of like you can't keep getting away with this.
Yeah,
But
I
I am.
actually don't know how you got away
But
with
like
this.
somehow you are.
The more and more I look at your team, I'm like, hmm.
It's fine. But you
I
know,
think
not every team can be great. Some are gonna have people that just don't perform, that don't do their job. And that's why we have our next segment of Josh's, but never on Josh's team because he's got a super cool team, but you on your team, they fucked and shit the bed fucker of the week. Tyler, have fun editing that one.
I was just thinking that. If you watch my face in the last podcast when you say your title, you can immediately tell I'm like, oh fuck. As soon as you started this one, I immediately was like, I'm not doing that. Nope. No thanks.
That's exactly why I've just
Not
slowly been
happening.
making it more complicated to watch his face. But this week, my bed shitter of the week, there were two options that I could give it to on the Gold Galleons team, which were James Cook and Garrett Wilson, who neither performed. But this week, it is going to Garrett Wilson, who has not performed at all this season. And this is a player that was a keeper for this team. You know, you want your keepers to become kind of columns, cornerstones, and did not do it and has not been doing it. And I think it's a big reason that, you know, this team has just not been performing. And, you know, on that note of keepers, we have another keeper as a Mr. Big Guy of the week. That one will keep easy. It's Mr. Big Guy time. With Tyler's keeper of CJ Stroud, who has finally had his big performance as a quarterback. And very much like helped Tyler win that. Now,
Yeah, most definitely.
on this note of keepers, Matt, I don't know who your keepers were this season. How are they doing?
I think the only person I ended up keeping this year was White. I don't remember keeping anyone else.
One keeper. How's Rashad doing?
It's hit or miss. I mean, he had a good week one. I shit the bed other 2 weeks. It's okay this week. He had 12 points. Like,
But damn.
not really what I wanted him to do. My team really didn't have many keepers. I really didn't like my team last year. But
Damn.
picked him a little late last year, so it was okay. I felt like it was a late pick this year again.
Nice. Do you have any plans in the coming weeks? Any plans to improve your team, try to make some moves?
You know, me looking at it, my team's really hurting. It's really hit or miss on a lot of people. The person that's really upset me is Patty Mahomes. If he doesn't get his shit together, and like, great, he's 3-0, but like, I don't think he's put up over 20 in time.
He
Like,
has. I have him in Dynasty League, and I've been trying to get rid of him.
it's
Dude.
might be going on the trade block. Like, it's sad. Like, he was my first overall pick. I think I had the 4th pick, and he's really shit in the bed.
Yeah.
Him and
That
Travis
being
Kelce
said,
both.
he can come back because you're
can.
not making a good. You should probably sell him a little bit if you're thinking of trading him.
He can come back, but I also feel like Travis Kelce needs to come back as well and kind of pick up his game.
They can
Well, that's
come
why
back
Rusty Rice
together.
got injured. Yeah, they got it. They'll come back. I believe in them. I do think Patrick Mahomes is gonna have to just start throwing the ball better if they're going to keep winning because they've lost Pacheco and Rushy Rice, the two cores of their offense.
Like I feel
But-
like at this point you gotta start improving.
Yeah. It's time. It's time for Patrick to just go back to slinging. They've got Xavier Worthy, super fast guy. Just have him run and have Pat throw, and that's
I mean,
it.
he
That's
had
all
that
you got to do.
nasty TD over the weekend. It was like what,
Yeah.
70-yarder?
Yeah. Do that.
Like he has the weapons. You just gotta do that. Like
They're playing too safe. You got to play some more
Mhm.
some good, fun football. But yeah. Now, usually at about this time, we'd go into the power rankings. But, not much is changing. We don't need to go into who's last in the league or who's top of the league or who's who
Exactly.
there. But instead, we're going to do something a little different. I've decided that it is my duty as a Josh to give credit to all the Joshes that I can. And so I am going to be creating a tier list of every Josh that is currently an active player in the NFL. Now, welcome to Josh's tier list of every Josh that is an active player in the NFL. Which there are
This is a real
25.
segment.
This is a real segment. That was suggested to
Oh,
me by
boy.
one Sam Losh, who is a smart guy. Now, first of all, we have our tiers, which probably don't want Tyler to have to edit all of them in or anything.
I'll do what I feel like.
Let's see what happens.
Good
We'll do
enough.
it verbally. I'll do it. Maybe I'll do a little sharing of a screen. I don't know. We have our tiers. My first tier is the Josh Hoy tier. Because guys, you gotta love yourselves. That's important. Look inward, be positive. Josh Hoy tier is our top tier. Second tier, Josh Gordon. Goes without saying. If you don't know, you don't deserve to know. He's the best there ever was. So, aside from me. Third tier, we have our middling, our safe tier. Josh Wine. Tell me a wine that is more dependable. That you can stop in that store and just know you'll get something that is decent and affordable. Our fourth tier, Josh Radnor. Now, half of you, maybe most of you, have no idea who that is, and that's the point. That is Ted Mosby from How I Met Your Mother.
I don't even remember
He
which
did
one's Ted.
something. The main one.
Oh, that guy.
He did something. And he hasn't done anything else. He's like not a bad Josh. But people don't know about him or care too much. And finally,
Yeah.
for those guys that at this point you're either a third string or a second string that I just particularly don't believe in, is the are you joshing me? Because are you joshing me? This guy's a Josh? I don't know about that one. Now,
They are still rich professional athletes.
well, in the context of the whole thing, they're a disappointment. And they should feel bad and be better. Because that's what we need.
We as in
So-
we the Joshes.
Yes, we the Joshes as a collective. So, I'm going to be jumping through this alphabetical order. And I'll be bringing them up. I'll be stating my quick thoughts. There's 25 of them. We're going to be going pretty quick. So you can give me your quick thoughts where you think they should go. And we'll go through. Number 1, alphabetically, and number 1 on the field, it's Josh Allen. It's pretty straightforward. This is Josh Hoytier. He is going to be a Hall of Famer. he is the best quarterback on the field right now when we have Patrick Mahomes breaking the knees of his own guys. I don't see any question there. I assume we're all in agreement there.
Good.
Yes, except I don't think he's a guaranteed Hall of Famer yet. He's on the
He
right
should,
path,
he should
but
win a Super Bowl, probably.
he needs to win a Super Bowl, and he also needs to keep doing what he's doing for a little bit longer.
Yeah, and
But-
he does play very physically and might be taking himself out, like, which is very fair.
But
So,
for the sake,
I mean,
for the
it's-
sake of
it's too
argument,
soon.
yes.
but I have some faith in the guy. Up next, we have Josh Blackwell, who is cornerback for the Chicago Bears. He's a second string and, hasn't done too much this season. Personally, the Bears are a very good defense, so if he's second string, he's second string to a guy that is good. I don't actually know who that is right now. But for that reason, I'm not putting him in the Are You Joshing Me? I have him in the Josh Radnor. The Bears defense, it's been doing well, and he's training with the best of the best. We like that. We like Blackwell's spot.
Sure.
I agree.
Beautiful. Now up next, Josh Downs. Now, wide receiver for the Colts, might have some good stuff coming up if Joe Flacco's slinging the ball. Now, he's been injured for a bit, but he's coming back. He had some flashes last year. I personally do like the guy. I think he's a solid Josh Gordon. I'm not putting him in the Josh Hoy tier. Maybe anyone has some arguments for that, but that's kind of where I sit.
I had him as Josh Gordon.
You got him as Josh Gordon? Nice.
Yeah.
Love that. Oh, we're rolling along.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that.
We like a Josh Gordon. Up
He had one
next.
decent week.
Yep. He came back. He did get a touchdown this year. Like, you kind of need that, but
Yeah.
he belongs there. Up next, we have Josh Harris, who is a long snapper for the Chargers. You're a long snapper. Over the course of his career, which has been 13 years, he has had one fumble. So it's 13 years, one fumble, and he recovered his own fumble, it turns out. So, like, not really a real fumble. But
You have so much more information on these guys than I thought you would. I can't
couldn't
believe I
find
just
any
learned that
info on
about
this
this
guy.
guy. He played 13 years. He had
Yeah,
one
I
fumble and he
couldn't find
recovered his own
anything.
fumble. Where did you even find that stat? Like, how deep into this
was
guy's
digging.
Wikipedia were you reading?
I didn't go that deep. I didn't go that deep on, like, all of them. But some of, like, the long snapper, I was interested. I have him in the Josh Wine tier. He's a long snapper, but he's dependable. That's Josh Wine. This man is Josh Wine.
Got it.
So that's where I've got the guy. Up next, I have Josh Hayes, who is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defensive back. He's a second string guy. He hasn't done much. Buccaneers aren't super impressive. There's not much keeping me from the Are You Joshing Me tier. I don't know if you guys found anything that would change my mind there.
The only thing that I found, I kept him in the Are You Josh Me because he said one tackle all season.
Yeah, one
Yeah.
tackle, like,
Pretty bad. Yeah.
oh, guy, you're out of here. Josh Hayes, you're the first in the Are You Joshing Me tier. Now, we have the second Josh Allen of the league, Josh Hines Allen. Now, this guy is a Josh Gordon tier, and honestly, I'm close to putting him in the Josh Hoy tier. Because one, he had 17 sacks last season. And
Yeah.
two, he only has one sack this season. But it's on Deshaun Watson. And if you're going to sack a guy, I'm glad it's Deshaun Watson. So to me, he's not quite. I don't want to encroach on Josh Allen by putting a second Josh Allen in the Josh Hoy tier. But this guy's like the tippity top of the Josh Gordon tier for me.
You know,
Yeah,
I
I
think
meant
that
the
logic
Josh
makes
Wine.
complete sense.
Right? Right? Up next. Now, this is going to be a twofer. Because this is Josh Jacobs, who I do have in the Josh Hoy tier for a specific reason, which is I do think he's good, but for him to match Josh Allen, it would need something else. And that something else is Josh Myers, who is his center. So, the Green Bay Packers have a duo of Josh blocking for a Josh in this run game. And something very important is supporting your fellow Joshes. So as a duo, these two, for me, make it into the Josh Hoy tier. And the Packers are one of the two honorary Josh-supported teams in the NFL for this reason. Maybe 3. No, Bills don't count.
I'm looking through the list. It looks like 3 teams have multiple Joshes on their roster.
Well, yes, but they don't.
One team is it 3? No.
I'm aware.
The Ravens have a lot.
The Ravens have a couple. There are multiple with 2, but none of them work so closely together as a running back and his center.
Oh, no, I completely agree with your logic. 100%. Yes. Definitively.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes. So, moving past Josh Jacobs, this will be the end of my Josh Hoy tier. It was only those 3. We get to Josh Johnson, and we'll throw in Josh Jones as well. These are the 2 Ravens guys, and I have them both in the Josh Radnor simply because we have Josh Johnson is the backup quarterback to Lamar Jackson. The team was comfortable enough to trade away Tyler Huntley, so he must be good enough for them to have some confidence, and so thus I kept him out of Are You Josh and Me. After that, we have Josh Jones. He's the offensive tackle. They're running that ball. They need a good offensive line. He's the second string offensive tackle, so he's not like super good. But he's out, they got a good offensive line. So he stays out of the Are You Josh and Me, personally.
I feel like you could have put Josh Johnson in the Josh Wine tier. He's like a career backup quarterback. He's the guy that you have in case your guy goes down, He's reliable in that sense.
I understand that. I have that honor for one Joshua Dobbs, who is
Joshua
in the
Dobbs
Josh
is
Wine
trash.
tier.
Josh Dobbs had like 3 good games, and now he's...
Oh, Joshua Dobbs last year had like a solid streak.
It was like he had like 3 good games, and everyone thought he was crazy good, and then he immediately sucked.
All right, man. Fine, Josh Johnson. I'll move Josh Johnson up to the Josh Wine tier.
I also had him in Josh Wine.
You had him in Josh Wine too? All right.
I did.
That's on me. I didn't have enough faith in my fellow Josh. He'll move.
It's okay. Happens to the best of us.
Yep. So, after Josh Johnson, Josh Jones, we have Josh Metellus. Now, Josh Metellus is a safety on the Vikings. He's a second string, but the Vikings do have a very good defense right now. And also, like, potentially best in the league. And Josh Metellus also does have 5 tackles on the season already as the second string. So he's either going to be the very bottom of Josh Wine or the pretty high in the Josh Radnor for me. I don't know where you have him, where you would put that, but that's where I'm thinking.
Yeah, you know what? I think you made a good argument for that one. I don't have any information on my side that would allow me to debate that fact, so yeah.
All right.
I do have some other information that I'd like to share there really quick, and that is about Josh Dobbs. I just wanted to be known that Josh Dobbs played 5 games as a Viking, and in the first 3 games, he started fairly well, He threw 4 touchdowns in those first 3 games. He then proceeded to throw 4 interceptions in his 4th game, and then in his 5th game completed only 10 of 23 passes.
He was remember the Cardinals games too. He had the Cardinals games.
Yeah, the Cardinals. He was nasty on the
Started-
Cardinals.
He was fine on the Cardinals.
Anyway,
Whatever. Josh,
we can move on. We can move on.
yeah. Moving on. Up next we have Josh Newton. This one's pretty straightforward. He's a backup cornerback for the Bengals. Hasn't done much. I put him in the Are You Josh and Me because the Bengals are not a particularly good defense.
I
Yeah.
agree.
I don't see this guy doing much. Up next, we have John Oliver, who is the starting tight end for the Vikings while DJ Hawkinson is out. This guy, he got a touchdown. He's holding in there. The Vikings have a good offense going. I think while he's in there, I'm giving him a solid Josh Wine right now.
I think he's
You know,
earned that.
he's holding down the fort.
I think that's a perfect placement.
Yeah, that's fair.
After that, I have 2 guys that I'm definitely a little harsh on because they are Josh Palmer and Josh Reynolds.
Yeah,
and
I
put
saw that. I cannot. Those were the first 2 that I was like, why? That doesn't make any sense. What are you doing with that?
My reasoning is purely because I said Josh Wine was a dependable tier. And Josh Palmer has let down fantasy managers across the country by getting hyped up and being listed as the #1 receiver for the Chargers and currently having 10 catches on the season. No touchdowns. Just real disappointing.
He's a reliable receiver for the Chargers, though.
Is he? He has 10 catches on the season.
I don't know.
And no
I know they
touchdowns.
listed him as the #1 wide receiver. They do not play him like the #1 wide receiver, though.
Listen, I just don't. The stats. I know he should be higher. He deserves Josh Wine. I know he does. And I'm ready for you guys to talk me out of it. But if you tell me this reliable guy has less than 100 yards and 10 catches on the season,
Well, didn't he miss a game?
yes, he
Or
missed 1 game.
I got the facts. Yeah,
Talk
no,
about
I
Josh
don't know.
Reynolds, right?
I think what upsets me is that I feel like you said that Josh Radnor was the who are these guys tier, and a lot of these guys in this tier, I'm like, who are these guys? But there are also a lot of guys above this tier who I had to say I have no clue. Actually, in fact, most of them, I have no idea who they are, and I know who both these guys are, and I would argue that a majority of football fans also would know who these guys are.
They do, but fine. I'm taking them out of the list. They get their own tier of disappointed Josh.
Receivers named Josh who aren't thriving.
Yeah. They're all Josh Reynolds is down here purely because he dropped a pass that kind of threw the game last year in the playoffs. He was their reliable receiver and then he dropped a pass and I watched it and I was with Lila, girl I was seeing at the time who was a Lions fan, and kind of wrecked the night there. So I just have a little bit of a
Personal vendetta. All right, makes sense.
personal vendetta, pretty purely that.
I like
So
it.
those guys. Up next, John Ross, also a Ravens guy. He's a linebacker.
Don't you mean Josh Ross?
Josh Ross, sorry. Yeah, the one thing. Josh Ross, linebacker, Ravens. I don't know. He's not super impressive, but the Ravens defense is pretty good, so
I mean, you mistook his name as John. I feel like that's enough said.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I had him in Are You Josh and Me?
I had him in on you, Josh, and me.
Yeah, Are You Josh and Me?
The man has 1 tackle for the season.
Oh, that guy, Are You Josh and Me? Dude, get out of here. Up next, we got Josh Sweat. Josh Sweat, solid. Josh Wine, has a sack on the season that's not against Deshaun Watson. Didn't go off as much as Josh Hines Allen last year, but the Eagles, not a great defense, but he's up there starting, and he's got a sack on the season. So
I think this
Josh Wine.
placement is perfect because Josh Sweat sounds like the name of a tertiary character in like a high school drama or like an auto-generated game character.
Yeah, pretty much.
Absolutely.
After that, Josh Wallace, LA Rams, cornerback. He's just got nothing impressive. I have him as Are You Josh and Me?
I don't know who
Yeah.
that is, so I agree.
Yeah,
I
just
have
doesn't
Are You Josh May? The next one I have him bum.
bum. Next, we got Josh Weil, who is a tight end for the Titans behind Chig Okonkwo. Now, I have Josh Weil in the Josh Wine tier for one reason, and that is that last week he was one of the top 10 scoring tight ends of the week in fantasy, along with another tight end, and neither of them were Chig Okonkwo, and I just found it funny.
I'm sorry, two
have him
Titans
as,
tight ends finished in the top 10 of points and neither of them were the starter.
Yep.
That is an interesting fact, actually.
Yeah.
They
How
put him
did
as
you-
Josh
where did you
Gordon
get
because he's
that?
Kinda,
You have him as a Josh Gordon?
yeah.
That's
Damn.
crazy. That's crazy.
See, that's bold for me. I don't know if I can get him up to a Josh Gordon. He's like not the starting tight end.
You
I mean, you're
know,
producing those points. And
He got
Josh
the
Downs
point.
is also
Points are
not the
points.
he has
starting
the points. He
receiver.
has the points.
Josh Downs is a starting receiver.
I guess a starting receiver, but not
know what?
the starting
Hey,
receiver.
you know what? Let's love some Joshes. Up to the Josh Gordon tier with Josh Weil. Let's put him up
Wow,
there.
he fully. I'm slightly.
He
upset, but
deserves it.
okay. Okay.
Put the points. You deserve it.
All
How
right.
many more of these
and then we have,
Joshes do we have?
a few more. Josh Dobbs we already discussed. He's Josh Wine, and I don't care. He's staying there. We're not.
Okay.
He's not.
Okay.
He's not dropping. Then we
He's
have
bad.
Joshua Ezadu. Are you joshing me? Like, what's that name?
Yeah, not a clue.
Oh,
Same shit.
offensive tackle for the Giants. The Giants suck. He's a third string. Third strings. Are you joshing me? Up next, we have Joshua Carty, who kicker for the LA Rams and a rookie at that. Missed his first kick of the season this past week, but aside from that, has been 9 for 10. Yeah, and kicked a game-winning kick last week. He's just doing some solid stuff. That's a Josh Gordon for me. I mean,
I agree. And he played at
He's a-
Stanford. Cool.
yeah, he's just working it. Up next, we have Joshua Paschal, who is defensive end for the Lions. He is starting right now, but that is due to the other two being injured. But he's keeping it together. The Lions have a pretty good defensive front, and they're continuing. Although Kenneth Walker has scored, I think, 3 touchdowns tonight, so maybe he's not as reliable as I may have thought. But
You know.
but he can stay in the Josh Wine.
Yeah. Okay.
Because after him we have Josh Uche. He's a Patriots player. I should know how to pronounce this last name. Uche,
I think it's
U-C-H-E.
Uche. I think it's Uche.
Uche. Starting linebacker for the Patriots.
Yeah. Why the heck
Patriots-
is he? Why the heck is he in this tier though?
Dude, I don't know. That's a typo. That's wrong.
That is just like so
That's wrong.
not correct.
So incorrect. I wrote down Josh Radnor here. Absolutely not. He's starting on a good defense. This guy, I guess, technically, he's either top of Josh Weiner in the Josh Gordon, just for
Josh,
starting
did you
on
know
a
that in
Patriots.
2022, this man recorded
mean-
11 and a half sacks?
Woo!
Put him in the
Josh
Josh Gordon
Gordon.
section strictly because he's on the pads.
This is Also, he should
You're right,
just be
you're
in
right.
the Josh Hoyt tier, actually.
Fine.
I mean,
Sorry.
he's on the
Sorry.
path.
I separate football when it comes to Josh's, even though that's everything we're ranking it on. Josh Hoyt
Yeah, that
here.
made zero sense.
Yep.
I've been outvoted. Josh Hoyt here.
I agree. All right.
And finally, we have Joshua Williams of the Kansas City Chiefs. Second string. The Chiefs' defense is fine, I guess. So I gave him Josh Radnor tier. And that does it for it, if y'all agree.
Yep.
And there we have it. The tier list of all the Joshes. I'm sure that you were very intrigued by this throughout. And we'll have a graphical image of it for you to reference.
Do have one honorable mention for this list, though.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
I'm not gonna lie, I found one. His name is Josh Booty. He played in the NFL as a QB and in the MLB as a third baseman.
Hell yeah.
Incredible.
Anyone that plays two sports, Josh Hoyt here.
That's what I'm
And
saying,
his
the
name
dual
is
sport
Josh
athlete
Booty.
Professionally,
Hell
Josh
yeah.
Booty. That's Josh Hoyt right there.
That's Josh Hoyt here right there. He'll be
Wow.
added to the list. I do have a slight
Incredible
honorable mention
contribution.
for a Joshua Harris, who is the new owner of the Commanders. And you can say it's because Jaden Daniels, Cliff Kingsbury. This new owner
Because of
seems to have
Josh.
turned things around on the Commanders. And I support any Josh run team. But if you didn't put that at 2x speed, you probably made a mistake. Moving on.
I'll edit
Two.
that in.
Now, moving on to our normal segments of the Down Bad Manager of the Week. It's pretty straightforward. It's our guy sitting here with his Bud Lights. The last most defeated team. Least points scored, most points against. Bong sidekicks. Way to go, bud.
There really isn't much for us to say on this. What do you have to say for yourself? I mean,
I really have nothing much to say. I'm kind of feel like my logo speaks for itself. I feel like my team should have been called the Washington Redskins. Well, fuck yourself. The team's just they're trying their best, but they really can't. They're not producing,
Yeah.
But they're trying.
Better things to come, surely.
I'm hoping.
I don't know
am
about
indeed.
that.
I mean, I'm looking at this week's score. I mean, I got Jordan Love dropping 40 against me. Walker has 33.
I'm
Panarin
more
has
interested with the
25.
fact that you only scored 110 points. What do you have to say about that?
If Patty Mahomes would stop being a third wheel, that'd be fantastic. That's really all I have to do. That's really all I got to it. Mike Evans finally came back for me and started doing some good stuff. So, the team's on the up and up. I have confidence.
Define up and up
Williams.
after losing and dropping to 0-4.
It's a long season. Okay? I'm not that far behind. I might be 0-3, but there's a lot of teams out there that are 1-2. A lot can happen in 1 week. I can be 1-3, and a lot of these teams can be 1-3, and then I'm back in it. That's all.
It's all relative. You'll get
trying.
there.
No, I have confidence with this week.
He's down bad, but he's coming back.
But yeah, I'm coming back.
All right.
Watch.
All right. And that moves us along to the upset of the week. Now, my upset came through. Tyler won. Way to go, bud. And thanks. Who'd you bet on? Did it go well?
No.
That's crazy.
But it's okay because I picked first this week, and
dear.
I'm doubling down on my boy Bong side. I'm taking the 0-4 team to get their first win this week. Bongside and I were talking before the podcast. Josh, you definitely weren't there. But he was telling me about a tough bye week coming up for his opponent. Gave me some insider information, and you know what? I can't help myself. I love an underdog, and so I'm doubling down. Give me Bongside over Aaron Rodgers Hate Club this week.
Ooh. All right. Well,
Appreciate that.
I'm looking. I've had a bit of a tough time choosing what I truly believe is the underdog. We have a lot of very close matches. And I think what I'm gonna end up going with is the matchup between the Notorious Scoundrels and the Charmin Ultra Softies. I don't even know who technically is going to be the favorite, but currently the Charmin Ultra Softies are ranked. The Charmin Ultra Softies will have a worse win record next week. So I believe that they would be the underdogs. But nevertheless, I will be choosing them to defeat the Notorious Scoundrels next week. Even though Anthony Richardson may be out, I do think that they'll be able to pull it together. So that is my pick for that, as it is currently tied. Now, it's time for Tyler's most lovely segment. I'll be right back while you two discuss.
All right, I guess it's the two of us. All right, everybody, welcome to my segment. So you guys know what I do. I make my picks. I help you guys make picks, and then we lose or we win money together. We had a killer week this week. I'm not gonna lie. If you followed some of my predictions, CD, TD, it did indeed hit. So we felt. We were definitely a little questionable on that one last week, but we're really happy to see that one come through and hit there. We also talked about Rams at Chicago, plus 124. However, I was in discussions with another fellow gambler who is quite talented himself, if I might say, and that is going to be Andy of She Loves My McConkey. Now, Andy and I were talking pregame, and he gave me a bet of Stafford plus 175 yards, Rams plus 8.5 on the spread. He said for him, I think the line was plus 100. I don't know how he got that if he had a bonus. My line was minus 140, but I still put some serious money on that. I felt very confident in it, and that also hit. And then finally, one other pick I made this week that I did not share, and I'm sorry for that. I came up with it right before game time, but that was a Kamara Jefferson TD score parlay. Both of them scored this week, so just riding some hot hands and got a little lucky there. This week, always tough when I don't have those player parlays, props to share with you guys. But even though there is no line out for this yet, one bet that I'm definitely going to be looking at this week is going to be Texans Bills over 6.5 points in the first quarter. I feel most likely that line's probably going to be obviously on the negative side, but I still feel very confident that these are going to be two big offenses. I really like betting over 6.5 first quarter points in general. I feel like a lot of teams come out early game and try to put up a TD, get that early lead. So that's something I like to bet on. And then also, couple other game lines we're looking at this week. We got a little parlay action here. We got Bucks at Falcons, taking the Bucks on an alternate plus 7.5 spread. And then we also got the Jets at the Vikings, taking the Vikings straight up. That's going to net you plus 152. Bucks are a really hot team right now. Falcons are also really good, and I do think there's a chance they pull out that win, but I think it'll be close, and I feel really good about that plus 7.5 line. And then looking at the Jets-Vikings, Jets have not been that hot this year. I don't think they've scored more than 24 points or so. Vikings have a really solid defense. Obviously one of the hottest teams in the league right now, so I feel good on that. Josh, I don't know how much of that you heard. Matt, what are your thoughts, guys? Talk to me.
Wait, so you're not taking the Jets beating the Vikings?
No, we're
right?
taking the Vikings. Taking the Vikings to cover the minus 2.5 spread.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say there's no way I keep losing money and Tyler's betting this shit. But uh, well, the rest makes sense. Yeah, I like the Bucks and I like the Vikings. We got our own resident Viking here.
Yeah, Matt, how do you feel? Matt, are you a sports gambler at all? I know we've talked a little bit about it in the past. Are you big into NFL betting or?
I am. I'm getting more into it. I
Don't.
like the points when they were talking about the first quarter points, the 6.5 points. I like that one. Here and there, like getting more into it. It's like if I hit, I'll keep going. If I lose too much, I'll be like, all right, I'll give this week a break. The wife has a lot of say in that as well.
I can imagine.
You know, I try my
But
best to sneak it.
yeah, that's what this segment's for. It's for helping you guys, whether you're an experienced bettor like Andy and, you want to listen to my picks and then have a little discussion, or, you're just getting into it and trying to learn a little bit. That's what this segment's for. We're here to win and lose money together. That's what it's all about.
Exactly.
So, that said, hit me up for picks this week. Hit up Andy for picks this week because he came through for me last week. So, but yeah, that's my segment. Josh, we got to finish it off, obviously. Checking in last week, Josh, you finished with, I think it was like $1 or slightly over $1. How are
At
we doing this week?
$1.20. I thought I had 38 cents. I have 36 cents.
You remember the bet we had about you reaching, I think it was $10, right?
Did I bet $10 that I'd reach $10?
I don't remember what we bet, but we
What did I
bet
bet?
something.
Yeah, $10 by the end of the year is the So currently I would need to times 30 my money.
So easy. Just one big parlay, Josh. That's all you need.
Oh, I really had faith in the Steelers and the Saints. And if Anthony Richardson didn't get injured, the Steelers would have won. For sure. And the Falcons won off a pass interference. So overall, game is rigged. There's some bullshit. But I'm coming back. I'm still up from the 33 cents. So we're fuck.
That's one way to look at it. Check back next week for Josh's 24-leg parlay.
I'm just gonna start betting. The minimum is 9 cents.
So with
Some people
36
might not know
cents, Josh,
that
you
can
have
bet as low as
four.
9 cents.
You have 4 massive parlay attempts with
Yep.
36
9
cents.
cent parlays.
You watch next week. Oh, the winnings will be coming in. But for now, we're low. We're low.
Down but never out, as we like to
Josh
say.
is hurting.
Yeah. But that does it for all of our regular segments.
And on that note,
Yeah. Matt, is there anything else you'd like to say with the rest of your spotlight?
Hi, honestly, thanks for having me. Appreciate it. And I'll be on the up and up. Watch out,
Dude.
I'm telling you.
yeah,
Absolute
it's a pleasure to have
pleasure.
you, bud.
Yeah. And get ready. We're going to start trying to have a guest every week. So we'll be reaching out to you guys to come join us, record, see if you can one up Matt. He came in swinging. But
Matt set a very high bar for the future guests of the show. So really appreciate that.
This is a beautiful thing. But I look forward to talking to each of you during the Hail Mary Happy Hour. And with that, good luck this week. Set your fucking lineups. And good night.
Yeah, y'all.